Welcome to CrushTheStreet.com's weekly market wrap-up. On the eve of Sequester Friday, the stock market bounced back above key psychological thresholds, 1,500 for the S&P 500 and 14,000 for the Dow Jones. Undoubtedly, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke is breathing a sigh of relief as his confirmation for continued quantitative easing obviously created some positives for the markets, but how long will this reprieve last? If we consider the technicals for the S&P 500, we can see that the index took a big dump based on bearish news from Italy, and that, in and of itself, should be a red flag. While it's certainly no slouch in global affairs, Italy is only the third largest economy in the Eurozone in terms of nominal GDP. There used to be a time not too long ago when America simply wouldn't care what troubles were affecting other nations. We lived and died based on our own fundamentals. Now, if Giuseppe doesn't pay his mortgage, our taxes go up. Are historical references even worthy of reflection? After all, isn't this the field of preppy humanist liberals partying it up in a fully subsidized institution otherwise known as college? While there's more than a hint of truth to these statements, what struck me was how uncanny a study of the past can be in strategizing for the future. Long ago, there was an electronics retail company that marketed radios and phonographs, which were all the rage at the time. There were really no competitors, as this company had the luxury of basically creating an entire industry as swarm after swarm of people began flooding their homes with these new devices. You simply weren't cool if you didn't own their latest gadgets, and at the peak of their power, shares hit an inflation-adjusted high of over $780. This was October 25th, the year 1929. On October 28th, the first wave of sell orders hit on Black Monday, sending shares down to $542. Less than 3 years later, shares would hit an all-time low of $33.67. While the company rebounded during the golden years after World War II, a changing business landscape and the Japanese extracted a heavy toll. In 1986, RCA finally closed its doors. The apple of the roaring 20s, but a mere footnote in a history book today. I mention this anecdote because it helps to refocus on the most basic fundamentals. Basic isn't complicated, it isn't sexy, and it probably doesn't win over a whole lot of friends, but in times of algorithms and high-frequency trading, basic can save your financial well-being. Should we throw all of our wealth into gold and silver bullion? I never recommend such extreme sentiment regardless of the asset class, and we still face some near-term downside pressures. The US dollar is up, and one would assume that if automatic spending cuts go into effect, this would be deflationary and thus may drive the greenback even higher. It's already within striking distance of 82, and a sequester will be all that's needed to see it through. For the positives, I do like that spot silver has had the $28 level tested throughout this week, and it's held quite successfully. While the overall sentiment is bearish given that the 50-day moving average is about to cross underneath the 200, we should start to see a consolidation pattern emerge, followed by some significant upside moves in terms of percentage. And that will do it for this edition. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
For more unconventional ideas, please visit CrushTheStreet.com.